Closed captioning for the Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today we visit Dawson's Geek Comics in Hermitage. They've got comic books for days. And my mom and Annabelle join me to bake my grandma's husband cake. But first, an e-bike tour of Mill Creek Park. We're at Mill Creek Park, Shoal Pavilion, Youngstown's west side, right off of Bears Den Road. And this is where I met Pat Sims, owner of Cruise the Creek. And he has these really cool e-bikes that he rents out by the hour.
Yeah.
And you can cruise the creek.
Correct.
That is such a good idea.
Thank you.
So how has this been received? Is it going well?
It's been going really great. This is our third season. It's just been kind of kicking off and gaining steam. We got the partnership with Mill Creek Park at our other location.
How did you come up with this?
Oh man, so I've lived here my entire life, but we always try to take family trips down to different places, and we went down to Sarasota, Florida. And while we were down there, I was just driving up and down the coast. I've already had that entrepreneurial spirit, and I just saw him sitting on the side of the beach, you know what I mean? I was like, man, this is really cool. You know, we have something like this going on, and I know how difficult it is for people to get around the entire park. And I was like, hey, you know, let's give it a shot. So what I did was I just ordered 2 bikes online, and you know, after our trip was done, we got off the airplane and they were sitting at our doorstep waiting. So I started with 2 bikes.
So your other location is down on Kirk Road at the, what is it called, the trailhead?
Yes.
For the bike path.
The bikeway. So it runs from, it starts at Kirk Road, and then you could either go south towards like the Metro Park Farms and things of that nature, or you can go north to the Niles Greenway, and then it ends over there in the Niles area.
Wow, all the way into Niles that goes.
From Canfield all the way to Niles.
How is this treated? Is this a bicycle, or is this given car status?
So this is treated as a bicycle, but it is like, you know, the way that it's set up, you always want to ride with traffic. So even if you're on the bikeway, like on the bike lane in the park, there's that one-way traffic where you can go one way and then the bike lane is on the other way. You still want to be on the side with traffic just so you're not interfering with the pedestrians.
What do you do when you see that somebody is really inept, maybe me, and really shouldn't be on an e-bike? Do you just say, this isn't for you?
This is, I do that all the time. I mean, I've approached people and they've come up to me and say, hey, I want to give it a shot. They've paid, they've done everything that they're supposed to do online. And then I give them a quick introduction around like in this parking lot, just to make sure that they're comfortable, because it's like almost an interviewing process. Like, I don't want you to get hurt. Like, I don't really care about the money per se. I care about your safety. And if I don't feel like you're equipped to do it, we'll just give you back your money and you can sit this one out unless you get that confidence or that practice.
Right. You help explain everything on the bike, how it works, and everybody gets a helmet.
Yes. Everybody gets a helmet with their booking. They can decline, obviously, but I say everybody looks good in a helmet. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I always do safety first, but some people are opposed to wearing them. We can't require it. But obviously, it's always encouraged for everything that we do, because you just never know. Like, you never know about the accidents.
And then the insurance doesn't fall on you.
No.
You sign a waiver.
Yes.
And then you take your own personal responsibility.
Correct. Yeah. So once you know, it's almost like when you book, it's released into your care. You know what I mean? So like once you rent it out to us, we hand it over to you, and it's almost like it's your bike. So you go around, you treat it like it's your own, and all the liability goes on to you.
It's by the hour, so you could do one up to, what, 4 hours is the longest?
So yeah, our short-term rentals, we just started. We're doing 1 to 4 hours is a basic rental. I would say on average 2 hours is enough, unless you're just really trying to have a picnic in the park, or you know, you're going to be going in the Fort Nature Center or possibly the Rose Garden for long periods of time. You definitely want to just do about maybe 2 hours, because anything more than that, your butt's going to be hurting on the seat. Like, you know what I mean? You're going to have to take some breaks and whatnot. But
and even though you're a Youngstown resident your whole life, you have to have learned a lot more about this park. Because I think, you know, oh, I grew up my whole life, I know the park so well.
Yeah.
You probably learned a lot of things that you didn't realize were right here in our park.
Absolutely. The park is just such a hidden gem. You know what I mean? Like it's so amazing to have this right here in Youngstown. People from all over the country come to visit because I've met a lot of them. They come in, they do their just different tours. We have guided tours where we have people that we hired. Cherry and Karen are two of them, and they'll go around.
Really? And then
they'll take you around if you're not familiar with the area.
Wow, that's a great idea.
Yeah, we have Airbnb experiences and whatever else that you can do and book. So it's been becoming a really big thing.
You've really got some different ideas.
Yeah.
And we are going to take a ride right now. And before though, I'm going to get a little explanation, and we are going to learn exactly how these e-bikes function.
These are all pedal-assisted bicycles. So like we were talking about before, these are all treated like bikes. You're supposed to pedal it like bikes. It doesn't have a combustion motor. That's why it's allowed on the bike trails and things of that nature.
So even though I don't put my feet up, I am still pedaling as it goes.
Yeah, so you'll put your feet up just like a bike. It has pedals like a bike and brakes like a bike. As long as you treat it like a bicycle, you'll be able to go miles and miles, and it just assists you with the help.
What's the maximum speed on this thing?
So at this location, our maximum speed is 25 miles per hour.
It's pretty fast.
It is, yeah, and that's the max speed.
In the park?
Yeah, inside of the park.
Fast as you could go, right.
Yeah, over at the other location on the bikeway, they have a very specific speed limit of 15 miles per hour. So we reduced all of our bikes down to 15 miles per hour. You can't even go over it even if you wanted to. It goes into 5 increments. So level 1 is 5 miles per hour.
Okay.
Level 2 is 10 miles per hour. Level 3 is 15. Level 4 is 20. And level 5 is the full 25 that it can go.
Well, I think we should go at about level 2.
Level 2. That is a very
Let's be baby.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
You can zip ahead of me.
Yeah.
But I think I'd be comfortable with that.
Okay, absolutely.
I think we're ready to go.
Yeah, you want to give it a shot?
Cruise the creek?
I say we do it.
Okay, let's do that.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
Last year, 115 local people took their own lives, with the majority of those individuals being men.
You can help someone who is feeling suicidal by listening without judging them.
Understand that it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to ask for help.
If you think that life is better without you, or that you can't go on one more day, please give yourself more time, because life is better with you in it.
If you or somebody you know is struggling, call or text 988 today.
We are getting close. SCABA Camp is almost here. A year-round destination for adults with disabilities and their families to get away, close to home. Accessible to all, with no barriers. Donate now to GABA Camp. Help others to enjoy this unique recreational destination for adults with disabilities and their families to enjoy an accessible camping experience. Donate to GABA Camp. Giving is living.
Hey Todd, what brings you in today?
It's time to propose. All of our friends are getting married. She wants to get married. I love her more than anything in the world, and I can't live without her.
Well, you've come to the right place. We have the biggest selection, the best brands, and the most competitive pricing in the area.
And what about like a used discount?
Get real, get Kamara.
Locally owned, Hurricane Health and Wellness will help you weather the storm of your weight loss struggles. Safe and discreet, our experienced telemed team will prescribe the proper weight loss medication. Powerful weight loss solutions. Hurricane Health and Wellness.
Shop CMAX Northside Appliance in Struthers, the local appliance store that beats big box prices every day.
3 generations serving Youngstown, Ohio, soon to be our 4th.
You better come on in my kitchen.
Well, today's a big treat. I have got 3 generations of my family right here in my kitchen. We've got the 4th, I'm 3rd, number 2, and we are bringing in 1st generation Stella Roscoe, my mom's mom, my grandma, for this recipe, which is probably about 90 years old, written on this card. I mean, it's crazy.
I was learning how to type in high school, so my mother says, type my recipes up. Well, here we go.
But Annabelle and I tried to make this the other day because we were getting prepared to do this. And Annabelle, I'm like, read me the instructions. And what was
besides the egg yolk in the frosting, which was...
We cut that out.
It says bake 350 till done, which is, as we figured out, not very helpful.
No.
When,
we thought...
Baking a cake.
I went to like a boxed cake and it said like 30 minutes for like a 9 by 13. But actually...
That didn't work so well,
It was like, ugh. So it's about an hour.
Yeah.
And I think it's because there's so much liquid in it.
This is very dense also.
Right. But it didn't rise at all. No. As Annabelle was frosting it, it just kept going down.
Like a souffle that was...
It was really bad. But we have resurrected it. We have made some minor adjustments. And together, we are going to make Stella's husband cake. So let's go over the ingredients. For this cake recipe, you'll need 3/4 cup of Crisco, 1.5 cups of sugar, 1 cup of canned tomato soup, 3/4 cup water, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 3 cups of flour, 3/4 teaspoon of salt, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of cloves, and 1.5 teaspoons of nutmeg. For the frosting, you'll need 1 8-ounce package of cream cheese softened, 2.5 cups of powdered sugar, 1/8 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and 1.5 cups of chopped nuts for garnish. So we've got the stand mixer out, and I really don't like cooking with Crisco. I know a lot of people do. I usually use butter, but we're going with Stella's original recipe, right? So we're gonna start by just creaming together
with the dry ingredients.
Right. So just these two, we're gonna cream these together, okay? And it gets kind of fluffy, but not super duper fluffy, but at least it'll be combined. So we'll just get that going. And preheat your oven to 350 degrees. I have prepared a 9 by 13 with some butter and flour. And while we're waiting for this to go, I'm gonna put all of the dry ingredients into the flour. So that is the baking soda, baking powder, salt, and the 3 spices, the cloves, cinnamon, and nutmeg. So we'll just stir this together when we get ready to add the dry ingredients. So there you see, it's kind of creamy. It looks a little bit like a dry frosting.
Yeah.
And I'm now going to add the tomato soup and the water. So what I'm gonna do is, to make sure we don't waste any of the soup, I'm gonna add the water into the can. And then I'll get all the, the remnants out. Sound good? Waste not, want not?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so there we go. It's kind of like a watery, tomato soup. Have a sip, Annabelle. No? All right, so let's get that back on. And we're gonna really combine this
You don't
pretty
want
well.
it real high.
No, we gotta let it, because it'll get a little messy. It's kind of soupy right now. So this doesn't really look like it's congealed properly. It looks like it's separated, but I think a lot of that has to do with the Crisco.
Crisco.
But it really does.
It doesn't blend like the butter.
No, but it does come together really nicely when you add the dry ingredients. So Annabelle, we're gonna put this on low. And this is about 1/3 cup. And just keep adding it, and you will see a huge difference when this starts to combine. It really starts to look like a cake batter. Well, this looks pretty good.
Yeah.
So let's scrape this off. We don't have the nuts in it, but you could probably put nuts and raisins.
Did she say raisins in it?
Yeah, if you like that. I mean, some people don't like raisins, but that does help keep it moist.
Yeah.
Ta-da. So now it is all smoothed out. It is in our pan and it is going to go into the oven. 60 minutes is probably ideal, but I'm going to start watching it at 50 minutes. And you'll see it's a really pretty color when it's baked. Well, the cake baked for 55 minutes, and Jelaine dug around pretty good and made sure that it was baked thoroughly. Annabelle especially is the frosting.
Oh, yes.
She's all about the frosting. So what we're gonna do is we've softened up. This is an 8-ounce block of full-strength cream cheese. Come on, it's frosting. Don't use
Philadelphia cream cheese.
The fat. And then let's go, Annabelle. We'll start with a little bit of salt. Now remember, Grandma Stella wanted a raw egg yolk, and we decided that that was gross.
We also cut down the sugar.
And a little bit of the powdered sugar. She had, I think, 3 cups.
3 cups.
And, you know, we made it to our specifications.
That's right.
And it was just fine. We're gonna use the whisk attachment. And so let's get going here.
Did you put the vanilla in and everything?
Vanilla, salt, everything's in. Then we have the chopped nuts for the garnish. Look, it's perfect. It's the nice, creamy consistency. So Annabelle, just dump it on the cake, and then we can use the spreader to get it all over the place. Nice job. Ignore the big holes.
Yeah, that was my sign.
We were mining. Now the proof is in the tomato soup instead of the pudding.
It's good.
I think it's really good.
I like it. I haven't tasted it in 50 years.
I know, is it just as good as Grandma's?
Yep.
Stella, thumbs up.
Here's the Stella.
Excellent, excellent recipe. Very old, but still holds up today.
Yes.
Go to my website, CaseyMaloneShow.com, and look for the husband cake, courtesy of my grandma, Stella Roscoe. And we really do appreciate it. Cheers, having a nice cup of coffee, Tanzania blend from Branch Street. Go to my website. You will not regret this cake, it's delicious.
Rulli Brothers is way ahead of the competition. Check out Rulli Spice World, where you can buy bulk herbs and spices, plus candies, nuts, and fillings for pennies on the dollar. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
I'm Elizabeth Bernard. For more than 30 years, I've provided our Valley with sound legal advice. My associate Jennifer Rigetti and I will be your legal representatives if you're involved in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident. Don't try to handle it yourself. We'll navigate the red tape of dealing with doctors, medical insurance, and all the obstacles that you'll face. Remember, there are no upfront fees on personal injury cases, and hiring a lawyer does not mean you have to go to court.
Call attorney Elizabeth Bernard, local legal experience for more than 30 years.
Locally sourced is good, whether it's ingredients or a bank, and that's why my bank is Farmers National Bank. Since 1887, Farmers has remained rock solid through every economic condition. Having a bank with a history of safety, soundness, and conservative management is a must. It all boils down to this. You need a bank that will help you reach your goals. I do too, and Farmers is mine. Farmers National Bank, rock solid. Well, a lot of times I get recommendations on places to go. And Dawson's Geek Comics was one of the recommendations. And Cliff is Cliff Dawson of Dawson's Geek. You've got to educate me here. You know, growing up, I got Archie. You know, I was an Archie girl, and I was Mad Magazine. But I was not into any of the comics. But obviously I missed a whole,
You missed Superman, Batman, yeah,
Right.
all the biggies, the movies, the TV shows. I started with like the Ninja Turtles,
right,
and just kind of like was hooked, and that kind of inspired like a fandom, doing artwork, trying to emulate those artists that were in those comic books that I love so much, and the stories that I love so much.
I mean, obviously, I have missed out on this whole slice of life because your selection is off the
If they
hook.
find that obscure book that they've been looking for,
Oh
or
my
just
gosh.
like, oh, hey, I didn't know that Buffy the Vampire Slayer was a comic book. Wow, I've got to put this in the collection. Just kind of like, oh, I got to see what this is about. I love seeing customers that come in and ask about an obscure book or something, and then I actually know that it's here, and just like, hey, let's go look here. And I pull it out and just see them light up of like, I've been looking for this. And, that to me is the joy of doing what I do.
How do you keep track of your inventory? I mean, how would you even know? There is so much here.
It's a lot of poke and hope and try and remember, like seeing like a cool cover or a title that like, I didn't even know that was a thing. And it just kind of gets filed away in the back of the brain, and then somebody's asking about like, hey, do you have that book that you didn't know was a thing? Yes. Hold on a second, we'll go look for it. A year ago or whatever, when I actually got the gumption to, hey, let's do this.
Yeah.
I talked it over with my wife and be like, hey,
we can do this.
I've done the job that I've done for 30 years.
What field were you in?
I was in trucking.
Okay.
Upper management of trucking, dispatch, and I was like, I need a change. I need to, follow my dreams, and worked up a business plan, worked up a business model kind of thing. Because as I was in the trucking industry, I would do Comic Cons as an artist.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed and loved the interactions that I had with people at those Comic Cons, and wanted to make that my full-time gig, I guess is the way to say that.
Right,
Just
and
to,
you knew what people wanted, what they were looking for, so you were able
kind of
to
had a
provide
finger on
that
the
service.
finger on the pulse, I guess the way to say it.
Okay.
Of just, of like, okay, this is neat, and I've seen other people that were succeeding in it that I had met through Comic Cons. It was just, hey, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna follow my dream. I've always wanted to do this. I really like the people. I like the interactions.
And in our region, what do you think? Maybe 3 or 4 places between Western Pennsylvania and East, Northeast Ohio?
There's roughly about 4 in this general vicinity, but there's many more, as that circle grows.
Right.
So,
I mean, it's a kind of a small fraternity locally.
Locally, yeah. There's 2 shops that are right handy here in Pennsylvania. There's several over there in the Warren area.
Does every comic book have the potential to become collectible? Or are there some that are just like, Pulp Fiction? They're just putting them out to fill a void.
And that's the thing, if they overprint, it's gonna nosedive.
What do you think the average amount is that they print from a new Superman coming out? What do you think it is?
That's an excellent question that I have
Thank you.
I have no clue the answer to.
Cliff, you better get on that. I want to know.
Yeah,
the public wants to know.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to Google that. I do not.
Like they used to put albums out. It'd be like a 10,000 run. And then if it went platinum, of course they'd keep making it.
Yeah,
but you just wonder what the initial thing is.
I don't know the initial runs. I mean, they'll do special books to where there's.
Then you'll know they're numbered and collectible and things like that.
Yeah, that they'll keep them down to a 1,000 run or 1,200 run, and then instantly that if it's a decent book, if it's a key story, that it's going to be worth more down the road. So it's one of those things. I don't know what the average. That's
Okay.
You got me
I asked
dumbfounded
a good question. There you go. Once a year, I come up with a good one. This is really a personalized service you provide because you really know your people. And you're like, oh my gosh, Gino is going to love this horror thing because he's into the horror genre.
Yes.
And then, so you really do know. I mean, your clients, you're like a doctor. Prescribe the right medicine for your.
I guess
Dr. Cliff.
Yeah.
of Dawson's Geek.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, here's your paper medicine. That's the way this is gonna.
Thank you. May I have another?
And some of those
And you
customers
can get addicted.
Yeah, you can't get addicted because then it's just like, okay, I have to finish this story, and well, I'm missing issue 2. I need to find this, and that's where I think a lot of collecting comes in.
Right.
I'm missing this one issue. I don't know how this is going to end up, or I know how it ended up, but how did we get to there? So they're looking for that issue that's going to fill in that blank.
I can't believe all the books. Room after room after room, file box after file box, A to Z, A to D. You got to see this. You'll see all these things. It's amazing. Amazing the inventory you have.
Well, and I owe a lot of that to my family and my friends that are family that helped me set up the store.
They really,
in the
you
in
couldn't
the process.
have done this yourself.
Yeah, it was just, we had a lot of great, wonderful people that, came through and helped organize and get everything together. It's just, I have a great family, I guess is the way to say that. There's a special place in heaven for my wife for letting me go on this endeavor, but that's the...
Does she like comic books?
She
better start kind of like
She does not really like comic books. This is kind of all obscure to her, but she knows it's such a big part of my life, and thankfully I married the right woman that she supports that she's like, okay, I don't understand it, but I'm going to support this. And she's my rock. She keeps me focused on the goal. So
that's a good woman. You better watch her. She's going to get a hobby that you're really not going to understand. And it's going to be a little tit for tat there.
Yeah.
She's going to say, Cliff, I don't know what she's going to start doing, but it might be something.
Well, she's big into CrossFit and biking, and I have no desire to do any of that. So
mountain
that's
hiking.
her thing. Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I wish I was into something like that.
The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.